Wearing Wakanda, Folklife Festival salutes the fashion of Black Panther. The Smithsonian Folklife Festival features a special tribute to the hit movie, Black Panther. Ghanaian weaver Kofi Asare, son of Kwasi Asare, weaves kente cloth on a loom. Courtesy Kwasi Asare, Washington. Cross your arms over your chest and repeat after me, Wakanda forever. The Black Panther tagline was more than a Hollywood catchphrase. It sparked a movement on display at the Smithsonian Folklife Festival from June 27 to July 1 and July 4 to July 8. The project was in the works beforehand, but with the incredible response to Black Panther, we knew we had to do something, curator Diana Baird told WTOP. Not only the crafts that Ruth Carter put in the film, but also, what has this done for African textiles? We want to let people know that some of the inspirations are right here at the Smithsonian. The National Mall has hosted the festival since 1967, focusing this year on the cultures of Armenia, Catalonia and the crafts of African fashion. That includes the first ever Wearing Wakanda event this Saturday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the National Museum of African Art. We encourage you to come down and wear your Wakandan best, and I said, the clothing was actually a character. Director Brian Coogler talked about how, in that wonderful scene in the casino, the main characters are wearing red, black and green, themes associated with African American liberation movements, just a positive view of African futures. What exactly will you see at Wearing Wakanda? When you come into the foyer, you'll see some beautiful slides from the movie, and I said. You'll also see the root traditional objects that were part of the inspiration for all that you see in Black Panther. Then you will come downstairs to the second floor to our presentation. There will be some of the artisans who create this cloth and actually one of the designers, Scythnia Sands, and Victor Ekpik, who is an artist who uses the symbolism from his native Nigeria. After that, head over to the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History. Africa is the new center of the global fashion world. And I said, there's so much energy on the continent right now, so we're going to show films made by African designers in collaboration with African filmmakers. We've invited designers like Mimi Plan, one of the top designers in New York who's from the continent itself. Her work is inspired by African art. Sunday's event will also display the work of clothing designer Brenda Winstead. Brenda Winstead is known by many to be the creator of Mali African wear. And I said, she works with craftswomen from Mali, Mauritania and Senegal. They do wonderful indigo textiles. She also works with people from Central Africa, so her clothing will be on display. Beyond the fashion film collaborations, you can check out African arts and crafts the entire festival at the festival marketplace from 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the National Mall. Wakanda was a wonderful, technologically developed mythical country on the African continent that had kept all this expertise, and I said. Part of that technology and expertise is rooted in these traditional crafts in the real Africa in countries like Ghana and Niger. The market will include special guests, including renowned weaver Chapuchi Baba Wahiagbal, kente cloth weaver Kwasi Asare and his son Kofi, and fashion designer Kibanan. In addition to having great things to buy that are made from artists, they'll be able to see demonstrations of the crafts, and I said. We have kente weavers. Kente cloth was made for royalty during the Ghana Empire. It's a really important cloth that's become a symbol not only for African heritage but also within African American communities. You'll also see leather craftsman Sue Monasali and textile artisan Scythnia Sands. We have an incredible leather worker from Niger, this incredible painted leather from the African continent, and an African American designer who's worked with weavers and surface designers in Ghana and Morocco. She does incredible tie-dye and batik, and I said, these crafts are nothing new, they're part of a rich history of African design. They've been around for a while, and I said, They're not only a powerful, beautiful craft, but they also sustain families and communities. These kinds of community-based cultural heritage enterprises are grounded in all this knowledge that has to be supported. So we are encouraging designers who make African-centric clothing to incorporate these crafts into what they do, to work with hand-dyed fabric, to work with hand-woven textiles. The festival timing is great for the Smithsonian, which just recently acquired memorabilia from Black Panther, including the costume of actor Chadwick Boseman and a shooting script signed by director Ryan Coogler. Plans for display are still under consideration. It's such serendipity that the announcement is happening right at the time of our Crafts of African Fashion program, NDI said. The costume worn by Chale is now going to be at the Smithsonian. The movie is not just a movie. It's a cultural phenomenon that's united people across the United States and frankly across the African world. It's a really important acquisition and gift to the National Museum of African American History. For many African Americans, it was a chance to see a future and possibilities for the African continent that were positive. In fact, some people talk about this as Afrofuturism. This is a wonderful injection of the positive. Find more details on the festival website. Listen to our full chat with Diana Baird and DI below. Like WTOP on Facebook and follow at Top on Twitter to engage in conversation about this article and others. Copyright 2018 WTOP. All rights reserved. This website is not intended for users located within the European Economic Area.